What is up, guys? It is me, Max, back again with another guitar tutorial, and today we're going to be taking a look at Bomb Bomb by Camila Cabello featuring Ed Sheeran. An awesome song that really feels like something different. It is super refreshing and it is a lot of fun to play on guitar because we really get to go wild with the rhythms here, and we're going to take a look at that in a second. For now, we're going to put a capo onto the first fret on our guitars. That will make life a lot easier. We are in standard tuning, and without any further ado, let's roll. We are going to kick things off by taking a look at the verse, specifically the chords that we're going to be using in that verse. And our first chord is going to be a G. We take our first finger, which is the index finger, and put that onto the 3rd fret on the 5th string, so on the A string. Then we take our second finger, the middle finger, and put that onto the 4th fret on the 6th string, so the lower E string. And then we take our 3rd finger, so the ring finger, and put that onto the 4th fret on the 1st string, so the higher E string. That's the G. Next up, we've got a D. We put our first finger onto the 3rd fret on the 3rd string, our second finger onto the 3rd fret on the 1st string, and our 3rd finger onto the 4th fret on the 2nd string. And now we have to mute both the 6th and the 5th string, and we do that by taking our thumb, wrapping it around the top of our guitar neck here, and slightly touching those two strings. So we don't press down here, but instead we slightly touch them and thereby mute them. So we've got a G, a D, and now an E minor. We take our second finger and put that onto the 3rd fret on the 5th string, and our 3rd finger onto the 3rd fret on the 4th string. And last but not least, we've got a C. We put our first finger onto the 2nd fret on the 2nd string, our second finger onto the 3rd fret on the 4th string, and our 3rd finger onto the 4th fret on the 5th string. And now we have to mute that 6th string, and once again we're going to be using our thumb here. We don't have to wrap it around as far, but we're going to slightly touch that 6th string from the side this time around. That's the C. Those are our chords. G, D, E minor, and C. Now what do we do with those chords rhythm-wise? So first of all, we're going to palm mute the strings, meaning we take the palm of our right hand and put it down here on the strings. The further we slide up, the more muted, and the further we slide down, the more open the sound will be. So you just gotta find that sweet spot down here. And strumming wise, we're gonna start on our G, and we're gonna go down and up. And then down, down. Then we're gonna add one more down, so, and right after that last down, we're gonna jump over to our D and go down twice. So it's, and now one more down on our G. So it's, and right before going in for a second round on this riff, we're gonna go down up one last time, and for that down up we want to mute the strings, meaning we don't press down as hard on our G chord up here with our left hand, but instead we slightly loosen the pressure. We're still on those strings, but instead of pushing down on them, we're just slightly touching them as before, for example on that D chord, meaning our whole thing sounds like this. And then we do it again. And after having done it for a second time, we switch over to our E minor and our C. And we do the exact same thing we did between the G and the D, now between our E minor and our C. So we go, so far we've got And now we're gonna go back to our G and D and do it for a 4th time in total. And now that is one playthrough through our riff. And now we're almost going to play the entire thing again. We're going to do our G and D twice. Now we're going to go onto our E minor and C once. And then we're going to move back to our G for one last time, and we're going to start off the same way we started off before by going down, up, down, down. And then 2 more downs, and we're going to emphasize the last one like that. So it's... Then we're going to go down, up on muted strings. Down once on the D and down, up on muted strings. So we finish it off like this. Just like that. Next up, we've got the pre-chorus, so the part right before each chorus. And the pre-chorus starts off on an E minor. We've already learned this chord. Next up, we've got a new chord though, and that is going to be a B minor. We've now got our first finger across the 5th down to the 1st string, so not on the 6th string, on the 3rd fret. Then we put our 3rd finger onto the 5th fret on the 4th string, our pinky onto the 5th fret on the 3rd string, and our 2nd finger onto the 4th fret on the 2nd string. So we go E minor, B minor, then C, and then D. So what do we do with those chords? So we start off on our E minor and we go down. Then we go up, and then we go down on muted strings. So as we go down here, we slap our right hand onto those strings simultaneously and thereby mute them. So far we've got, and then we go up, down, up. So we go, and then we go down 3 times. And that is the entire thing. And we just do this once on each of our first 3 chords. And then we go down once on the D, and that is the entire pre-chorus. We have made it into the chorus, and we're once again going to start out by checking out the chord progression followed by the rhythm. Our first chord is going to be the C, next up D, followed by G and E minor. Then we do the whole thing again. C, D, G, and E minor. And the 3rd and 4th time we play this riff, we're going to substitute one chord here. We're going to go C, D, B minor instead of G, and then E minor. And then we do that again, as I said, for the 3rd and 4th time. So C, D, B minor, and E minor. So what do we do with those chords? We're going to start on our C and we're going to go down once. Then we're going to go down once muted, so. And then we're going to go up and muted. Then up and muted again. So we've got. Then we go up, down, up. So far we've got. And then we go down, down, down. That is the entire thing. We go. And we do have to be careful with our timing here, because usually we would go down 4 times on a chord or 8 times, but this time around we go down 7 times and switch on the 8th, so a bit early. Thinking in down strums, we would switch like this. As I said, feels a bit early, but that is what we're dealing with in this song. But the rhythm I just showed you works perfectly with that. We play our rhythm once on the C, on the D once, once on the G, and once on the E minor, and we do that whole thing twice. And then we get to the actual bum 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 bum, and this is where we take out that G and replace it with the B minor, but the rhythm stays the exact same. And we finish it off by solely strumming down once on that E minor instead of playing our entire rhythm on there as well. And we're finishing the chorus off on one single down strum on that E minor instead of playing the entire rhythm on there as well. And there's actually one more thing that we have to watch out for here, and that is the very start of the chorus, because I showed you guys the riff starting off on that first down strum because it's easier to understand the rhythm this way. But in fact, on that very first C chord, we start off on that first muted down strum. So we just leave out our first usual down strum. We start off like this. And from there on out, we continue with the entire rhythm. That goes for everything except for that very first C chord, and that is the entire chorus. The last part of the song that we have to take a look at is going to be the bridge, and in that bridge we start off on a G, and now we've got our last new chord, which is an F. We take our first finger and put it across all 6 strings on the 2nd fret. Then we put our 3rd finger onto the 4th fret on the 5th string, pinky on the 4th fret on the 4th string, and our 2nd finger on the 3rd fret on the 3rd string. So we go G to F to C, and last but not least, D. Now, what do we do with those chords? Well, I've got great news for you guys, because we already know the rhythm that we're going to be using here. As you might have recognized, we are using the chorus rhythm here, but we are splitting each section in between 2 chords, meaning we start off on our G and we go down, muted, up, 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 down, up. Then we go onto our F and go down, down, down. And then we do the exact same thing in between the C and the D. And that is already the entire bridge. We play this riff 4 times in total, and the 4th time, so the very last time, we finish it off by solely going down once on our C and leaving out the rest and waiting for the last chorus. So we finish it off like this. Then we get into the last chorus, and that is the entire song. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If so, drop it a thumbs up. Helps me out more than you might think, and if you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It is somewhere down there. And as always, I hope that I will see you guys next time.